Well, you know, the Biden administration can't get anything right. I mean, a couple of days ago, they warned of a big drop in jobs, but the actual numbers turned out to be a blowout on the upside. I mean, really, can't even get it right. Anyway, non-farm payrolls, big number today, 467,000 for the month of January. The consensus was plus 150. Meanwhile, November, December revised way up by 709,000. So actually, the level of jobs in January rose almost 1.2 million above the prior reported monthly level. In short, it was a blowout. There may have some people who worked fewer hours because of Omicron, but it looks like they didn't lose their pay for the most part. Wages surged. Over the past 3 months, the wage income proxy, that's average hourly earnings plus aggregate hours worked, income proxy, that increased 8.4% at an annual rate for the past 3 months. And by the by, I don't blame the workforce from wanting higher wages. A lot of Keynesians and, you know, other people, I don't know, traditional conservatives, root canal conservatives, I call them, they always blame wages and workers. No, blame government spending excesses and Federal Reserve money printing excesses. That's the biggest problem. Look, folks, we are in an inflationary boom, and we need some advice. So the best in the advice-giving business in history is my dear friend Arthur Laffer, who was a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So, Arthur, in the advice-giving business, I mean, today was a blow. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I see this as an inflationary blowout. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the Fed to take away the punch bowl. One could only hope government would stop spending. But these things mostly always don't end well. I guess that's what I'm asking you.
I'm not expecting it to end well either, Larry. I mean, you're the expert I would have come to show this number. I mean, it looks like this number also had some establishment household problems with these types of numbers, and the revisions going back, I'm not sure what they are. But in the long run period, it's very clear we're getting a little boost of the participation rate, which is good. The wages are picking up, as you say. They're still not caught up with inflation, by the way, Larry. Real wages are falling ever so slightly. And average hours are falling as well, all of which in this report tells me we need to wait and look at a longer period to make sure which way it's going. But I do believe that you're correct. This will not end up well. The Fed's printing of money is way too large, way too accommodative, and the deficits are huge. And as you know, the stimulus coming from fiscal policy deficits is also offset by the lagged effects, which is the crowding out effect, which it will reduce future GDP growth and GDP levels. So I'm not looking at a very exciting long-term future for this administration or for the economy in, let's say, over the next year and a half, 2 years.
You know, if you are sitting on the Fed, now, sitting on the Fed is an odd thing because nowadays all the nominees are for climate change and woke and slavery repayments and so forth. But, you know, just assuming in the old days when people sat on the Fed and were concerned about inflation, I know that's very old-fashioned, very old-fashioned. But you would look at these numbers. Honest to God, the one from Michigan State wants reparations for slavery. She's going to sit on the Fed. Now, look, this kind of a number, which is a blowout number, is going to put a lot of pressure on the Fed to take away, I'm calling it take away the punch bowl, i.e. withdraw reserves, stop buying government bonds, and cut back on the money supply. I would think they would be under a lot of pressure, you know, like maybe 50 basis points rate hike, end quantitative easing, go to quantitative tightening. How do you see that?
Well, I don't see those policies as having very much impact. I mean, if they raise the discount rate by 50 basis points, that's not really very much, Larry. In fact, if they let it go up even 1.5%, real interest rates today are negative, maybe 5% negative, Larry. I mean, the 10-year bond is at 1.9, and you've got a 7% inflation. That's a minus 5%. You're paying the government to lend money to them. You know, in 1981, when Paul Volcker brought this under control, the prime interest rate when Reagan took office on January 20th, 81 was 21.5%, Larry, way above inflation. About the real interest rate then was maybe 6, 7, 8%, which was enough to really bring inflation under control. If we had a real 10-year bond yield of 4 or 5%, we would have a 10-year bond yield today of 11% in nominal terms. And that is the type of policies that I'm sort of in your camp, Larry, where I think they should stop intervening in the capital markets, stop buying federal deficits, and just control their balance sheet and let the assets roll off as they roll off and shrink that balance sheet and not worry about interest rates. Let markets take care of interest rates is where I think they should go.
I mean, the more we talk about this, you and I have talked about it, Forbes talked about it, others. I really like the idea of going back to controlling what we used to call the monetary base. And let interest rates be what they may. We don't know what the right interest rate is supposed to be. And you're right. You're running a 5% PCE deflator. Actually, I think it was 6% in the GDP report. So the basic inflation may be 6%. So what the heck? A 190 bond, you're still losing money in real terms. You got to let the market...
4%. 4%.
Right. The market's got to reset that rate. The Fed doesn't know. Only the market can know.
Yeah, when you look at the Fed members, you're sure they don't know, no matter what the facts are. And that's just terrible, and it's going to lead to an ever stronger buildup. I agree with you on the wages and the jobs report, Larry, that all of us want to see wages go up. That's really nice. That's really important. But I'd like to see real wages go up. And what you saw in the jobs report, I think was 5.7% year over year on the wages, that's not enough to have real wages going up when the CPI is at 7%. And goodness knows what it's going to be when it comes out next time. But oil prices, for example, are all-time highs today. They're a big driver of that. If you look at the producer price index, they're higher than the CPI. So you've got a lot of pressure to build up those higher inflation numbers coming forward. And this Fed's doing nothing to stop it. Nothing.
No, all that's right. I'm just trying to make the point. And I think it's an important point for supply-siders. Don't blame the workforce. Don't blame unions. Don't blame blue-collar workers for the excess spending by Uncle Sam and the excess money printing by the Federal Reserve, whose new members are worried more about slavery reparations and climate change and woke social policies than they are about the well-being of the country. Now, as I'm saying, our friends, a lot of Keynesians and root canal conservatives, oh, my God, wages are rising. Well, people have a right to demand higher wages if, as you say, inflation is beating wages and, real wages are falling. So I just wanted to make that analytic, social, Nobel Prize winning type point. That's all. I just wanted to sort of put that in there.
You can never blame people who are working.
That's right.
Never blame workers.
That's right. No, it's
never.
We used to do this in the Jack Kemp days. You and Jack would make this point. This goes all the way back when, quit blaming the workforce, for heaven's sake. Anyway, the other point is, they're going to spend another $350 billion so we could out-China China. I love this. I mean, pick winners and losers, subsidize this and subsidize that. And, Art, I have a better thought. If you want to make America competitive, instead of more and more spending, don't pay for anything, even if we paid for it, I wouldn't like it, why don't we make the Trump tax cuts permanent? It's kind of like my latest mantra.
Lovely.
Are you in favor of making the Trump tax cuts permanent? I ask you, Art Laffer.
Yes, I am totally, but I'd like it to be by the next Congress when we take over Congress, and then in 2024 when we take over the presidency. First thing, make those tax cuts permanent. And stop the spending. Just stop that spending.
You're so hard on it. By the way, Republicans voted for this goofy China bill. Republicans. I mean, isn't that, you gotta love that.
$1,000 per man, woman, and child. $1,000 per man, woman, and child. That's ridiculous, Larry. That's a lot of money.
It ain't gonna do any good either. It's just BBB.
Oh, it'll do a lot of harm. A lot of harm.
BBB, more debt, more deficits, more spending, more money
there
creation.
You go.
All right, Art Laffer, have a great weekend. We will visit some more on this, but I don't think taking the punch bowl way is going to be easy. Just saying. Don't think it will be.
It's not. It's not. But we'll win in next November.
We got it. The cavalry's coming. Love, love, love. Thanks, Art.